This is HR Service Unscripted.
I'm like, curveball.
I wonder why decision fatigue was coming up suddenly because I've been reading about it for a couple of years. I wonder if maybe it's like this time of year that because the holidays are done. Like I'm just wondering why all of a sudden it's trending again.
Well, and they have to find new keywords to put in their meta tags to have hits on their website. So
Mm. Or
it's
just
a
fatigue.
trendy
I think fatigue is
fatigue. It's fatigue is fatigue. It's okay. I've been a few times and I just remember humidity and large bugs,
Yeah.
like New Jersey.
we don't have big bugs. We have
Oh,
small bugs
okay.
because it's cold here
And what
sometimes.
was your thing about bears? Are you having bears in the neighborhood now?
Oh, we've always had bears in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Oh,
What, as in the
Well,
large mammals?
yeah, big black bears. Yeah.
Okay.
now our black bears are the aggressive ones, correct?
No, they're the scary.
No, no.
They're
They're pretty
the
chill.
they're chill, and the brown bears are the aggressive ones.
Hmm.
Brown bears and
Okay.
grizzly bears are, yeah, they'll eat your
Yeah,
face.
grizzly. Right.
Okay.
We don't have
Yeah.
those, or not that I know of.
No, you shouldn't.
Mhm.
We don't have those either. We only have black bears.
Oh, you have black bears as well. Yeah.
I don't think we
And they
have
range from
bears.
any color from blonde to cinnamon.
Nice. You got a variety of bears.
You don't have black bears,
We
though, you?
we were actually in Yellowstone. Well, we go to every year, but a couple years ago we were driving, and when people see bears, they all pull over, and that. And so there's only a couple
Mhm.
cars pulled over, and I talked to this old guy. I'm like, "Hey, what are you watching?" Because he had his big binoculars on. And he was glassing the whole area. He's
Mhm.
like, "There is a blonde grizzly bear up there." He's like, "You'll never see it. It's collared, and you can track it." And so we stayed. We hung out with him for a little while, had some coffee, chat, and then he saw him come through the trees. So we actually saw a blonde grizzly bear, which is very rare.
That I would stop for.
It's kind of cool.
Mhm.
But it wasn't in the open and couldn't see, so people are just like, yeah, we don't care, we're out of here. Because that park becomes crazy.
Wow. I'm only
Okay.
afraid of the bear, like when it's garbage day, and if I'm like walking the dog at night, which I don't really do anymore. But so I'll only bring him like right across the street and come back because like I'm not about to encounter a bear while I'm out walking my dog.
But your dog should bark at the bear and scare it away. He can
He's
become a bear
so
dog.
dumb. I don't even trust him to warn me against an ex murderer.
Well, no, he doesn't know about those, but bears, he might.
And then I got frightened when I saw that it was like they can smell up to 18 miles away. So I was like, why is everybody worried like that they're putting your garbage out? It already knows what's in your garbage. It knows what's in your fridge, apparently, before it even hits the garbage,
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
right?
Oh, yeah, we've stayed up. But we stayed outside of Yellowstone Park a few years ago, and all the campsites had the bear boxes, the big metal boxes you put all your stuff in. That's
I
kind of
would
fun.
I would see those in the Smoky Mountains
Hmm.
we lived in Tennessee, but no bears. I didn't see any. They have them. I just didn't see any. But we did get a kick out of the bear box and the little hooks to hang up your stuff, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wonder
Hopefully
why
you
people
use them
didn't
like
feel
good
them.
campers.
we
Mhm.
did.
How did you like the Smoky Mountains? I wanted to go there.
I love them. And
Mhm.
no offense to Utah mountains, but they are my favorite. Utah mountains are still beautiful. They're very beautiful,
Yeah.
but
They're different.
they're different. Yeah. The Smokies, just majestic, huge.
Well,
And the
elevation
color
wise, they're
too,
nothing
right?
compared to my mountains, but
Right? Yeah. Isn't that the is that part of the Appalachian Mountains? I don't know.
I think they kind of connect. The Smokies feed into the Appalachian Mountains, and then
it's in that area, yeah.
the
Well, and they're
Appalachian Trail runs through it. So we've got to walk on part of it.
Mhm. Oh,
oh,
cool.
nice.
That went through the town I grew up in, the Appalachian Trail. And I think it's funny that down south, like they say it like how you say it, Appalachian.
Well, I
East.
would say Appalachian until I was in that area and they scolded me and told me
Oh,
it's Appalachian.
oh, interesting.
So now I use Appalachian.
This gives them another reason to hate Northerners because we definitely don't say that. I'm sorry, I only say what people say. I can only learn how people said it where I grew up.
Makes sense.
Well,
I just,
whether you're from the north or the south, we love everybody, so it's okay. I'm technically west. Actually, technically, I guess I grew up in Midwest, but now I'm technically west, which I never. associate Utah with the West because it's like right on that line of Midwest and West. It's like that border state.
Mm.
Because you're
Yeah,
too far from the ocean to be West, but too close to the ocean to be Midwest. Anyway.
but also culturally, I think there's a big difference between
Oh God. Utah and everybody else culturally is very different.
Yeah,
Yes.
Utah's
that's
just kind of its own thing, and that's okay.
And that's okay. We get used to it.
just like how Texas is its own thing. You can't
Yeah.
say it's any
Texas makes
different.
sure you know they're their own thing.
Hmm.
And we like them for that. I feel like
Do we?
Texas and New Jersey are very similar in that like people
No.
are surprised by us and they have like their opinions of like just us, as they should. We are special.
We will agree you are special.
Sometimes I have anxiety about how I don't have enough anxiety.
That's a good one.
I'm
My
like, why
anxiety
aren't I
brings
more
me
worried?
anxiety.
Everyone can't like people. My friend is like crying about work because she's so stressed out. Like sometimes my husband like can't sleep at night because he's so stressed about work, and I'm like, am I supposed to be crying or not sleeping?
Is you're over there just snoring and not caring. Yeah.
Whatever will be, will
So,
be.
welcome everybody. We had a little chat before our official introductions. We are HR Service Unscripted. I'm Dean. I'm here with Nikki and Dr. Liz.
Hello.
Today we're going to cover our March legal update, March 2026. We'll hit that topic quick like. You can get that monthly. Contact us if you're not getting that already. We'll go over some difficult coworkers, managing difficult workers, however, and our ever so popular trainer term.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to jump? Actually, Nikki wrote the legal update this month, so I think we just let her start and run, and we can jump in if we think we really
Just
want
crank
to.
it out. If you guys have any opinions, I would like to hear them.
Oh, I gave my
Upcoming
opinion right before, and we went on a little tangent, so we're okay.
ACA is coming up at the end of March, March 31st. Bunch of ACA stuff. We got some Cobra filings that are due on April 15th. And April 30th, we have the SPD summary plan description due for is that the one for the health plans that are on a calendar year plan? I think so. Um, also
Mhm.
got
And
tax
did you just drop
form.
the SPD? What if people don't know what that is?
I said summary plan description.
Oh, did you? Okay, sorry. I was trying to read along.
Oh, it is if on a calendar year plan, yes. Um, and I mean, I think SPD is a common enough. No?
I know, but some people
Or is
will
it just for
go,
us?
well, do we know? Do we not know?
I'll be
You
honest,
never
I did
know.
not know SPD until I started working for HR service.
Oh,
That was a broker task, not a HR task in all my prior employers.
And I grabbed
lucky.
that term years ago when I was in school. It came up on some quiz, and everybody's like, what is this? We haven't talked about this. They're like, oh, we talk about it all the time. I'm like, no.
No. You know,
Yeah, it's
when
just,
I, because I worked at an insurance company for so many
Mm.
years, I think all of those terms were just flying around and I got so used to them.
mhm.
Sorry. So the OSHA 300 logs, May 1st, employers who have OSHA requirements need to be aware of that. And then June, we have the annual prescription drug data collection, the RxDC, typically it's called. Um, but that's not till June, so you do have a little bit of time. And then for federal updates, contracts will not shorten deadlines for Title 7 or
Yes.
ADEA claims. I didn't put my glasses on, and I'm not wearing my contacts.
Hey, and touch
Um,
back on OSHA because the logs, these are
oh,
just the
sure.
ones I have to post.
That they have to post.
They have to post from February 1st to April 30th in a area where their employees can see them.
Hmm.
But
Then
May
they can
1st,
take
we
it
could
down
take
on
them
May
down.
1st. Yeah.
And
May
they take
1st,
them.
take them down if you want to. I've seen people just keep posting them and reposting them and they just cover it up behind, like the Girl Scout cookie forms and stuff. So,
I was thinking that when I was going over this one while I was writing it last week, I was like, what? Why remember another thing to take it down? Like, just leave it up. It doesn't, the data doesn't change.
yeah, you may not have space. You may just have a cute little teeny board, but versus
That's fair.
you never know. And don't include your employees' names on that. It just shows what incidents happened.
just the
Right.
incidents.
No personal information included whatsoever.
But they can identify the employees by a number. I know, which is kind
Have
of dumb, but still. Not dumb. It's just if you're going to post it, like just take that information off. You don't even have
Yeah,
to.
just take the information out.
Yeah,
It's fine. Yeah,
right.
as long as it's
Is
posted.
our suggestion.
Okay. Sorry to sidetrack. Jump back into Title VII or ADA.
This only applies to Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. But I did make a note here that all employers should take note because they have now set the precedent that employment contracts cannot shorten statutory timeframes for claims filed under Title VII or ADEA. So any employers outside of that area should pay attention and maybe as a best practice start aiming towards that because you know how it goes. A couple states do it and then the rest eventually
Hmm.
usually follow.
Yeah, and where the court ruling has it, of course, the other courts will say, well, this is already precedence. We'll just use the fourth court's ruling and go from
Mhm.
there. So good call.
Right.
Yeah.
And then H-1B registration cap. The visa application registration was open from March 4th to March 19th for fiscal year 2027, so next year. And any employers who miss that deadline should make note that the next opportunity will be around the same time next year. That was noted because there have been so many H-1B visa changes in the last couple of years that it's something to pay attention to if you have employees who fall under that category. Then we have lawsuits with sexual harassment are not required to arbitrate first. That was, I think, an old rule that they changed. So the Court of Appeals said now they don't have to do that. We can go straight to a lawsuit. No arbitration required. And then again, this only applies to Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and Tennessee. But like Dean said, one district sees it or the circuit, sees it, and then the rest are like, okay, they've already done it. We're going to do it too.
No, it'll start following in compliance. And no, that one I can see. So yeah, everyone should take note. Hopefully you never have that issue, but if you do,
Mhm. Yeah. Minimum wage increase for certain federal contractors that is coming down the pike in May, and it's going to be 13.65 per hour. I did not include which federal contractors this included. I didn't go through like the list of whatever, but it's if you have federal contracts and contractors, give us a call. We'll let you know. Temporary protected status terminations. I linked the government website on this one because literally I got 3 notices about it changing in 3 days. So I was like, it's probably out. If I had put what I got on Friday, it would be outdated today. So
I felt like E-Verify was sending constant updates with that information. It was blowing up my inbox.
yeah, I had like 9 in the last three
Hmm.
days. And it was first it was like this is coming, and then it was like this happened. Oh wait, it's delayed. And I'm just like, you know what, you're gonna have to if you have anybody, especially it was off the top of my head, it was like Haiti, South Sudan, I think Ethiopia was one of them, um, Burma maybe. So so it's just if you have foreign nationals who are working in your company with temporary protected status, you gotta set yourself up on some kind of an email list or make a note to keep checking.
Hmm.
I think it was more to do with the expiration date, really, on the I-9. So anyways. Okay, for states, we got California, pay transparency, Civil Rights Department recently published preliminary versions of pay data reporting templates for the reporting year 2025. This applies to employers with 100 or more employees. Um, Colorado released their annual comps poster again, and then they had an AI Act um, affecting employment decisions such as hiring, promotions, performance evaluations, well, the ones, everything that most states are looking at right now. Any comments? I don't want to keep interrupting you guys.
no, no, the big one with Colorado and the Act that's been going on and going through all their different pieces of government. And the main piece to take away of that is they want to maintain human oversight on it. They don't want AA to take over without a human at the end making sure the decision's correct.
Which is a best practice anyway. We should be doing that.
Mhm.
Exactly, exactly.
But they've already pushed this back, the compliance date back once. So I'm wondering if they're going to do it again, if there's any challenges.
This one's June 30th, so we've got quite a bit of time. I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, if they push it back again or have something else to say. Does that mean pushing back the requirement for the human oversight?
Mm,
That
I don't know. I don't know why it's been pushed back, but it's been interesting. I wonder if they're waiting to see what the capabilities of AA is going to be as it's updated every quarter.
And I believe there's some talk at the federal level too. So they may be waiting on some of that information as well.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah, well, that is interesting too. Yeah, it's the federal level's kind of a mess. It's been tied up, their little AI piece in there. But Colorado's always been interesting because they've always gone their own way. They're similar to California, where they've done their own thing and they just pushed it and said it's fine.
Yeah, they're becoming a trendsetter in their own right.
I wonder if it's because they have so many transplants. I feel like a lot of the transplant states do stuff like that. Watch out, Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Watch out,
even when you're
Texas.
using like ChatGPT, it's like every single time, it's like verify this against your own records because, we haven't, it's just not comprehensive enough or blah, blah, blah. I don't know if they're just waiting for that, but it has been interesting. So Delaware paid family medical leave contributions, the first contribution payments are due from employers to the program, and then affected employers are encouraged to review the FAQ on the website, which is linked in our legal update. Good for Delaware. I'm glad to hear when any state comes up with, it would be lovely if there was a federal paid family and medical leave, but just even the states doing it. New Jersey has had it for many, many years, I think since the late 90s, maybe. So I'm just really excited to see other states adopting it.
Mhm. It is an exciting trend.
No, no opinion from Dean.
I'm just waiting. I don't think it'll ever happen on the federal level unless they're too conservative to force paid wages on anybody.
Hmm. They could do it at the state
No,
level. Why not? We pay enough taxes.
I know. Well, every state is so different as well. Because I'll use my state, for instance, even like uh, the rate per hour. We're still running at 7.25 here, and
Hmm.
they don't plan to change it unless the feds make them change it.
That's kind of where Texas is too. 725, probably not going to change anytime soon. And we don't have state taxes.
Hmm. That makes a big
We
difference.
do. We love our state taxes.
We do property taxes and sales tax.
We do too.
Oh,
We have
wow.
all of those.
We have all of those plus, another thing too that everybody complains about here, it's funny because if you actually get a refund from the state with your state taxes, they will tax you on your refund of your tax you get back. I'm like,
I
wasn't
thought
this
that
money
was
already
illegal.
taxed? I don't know. I'm not a tax expert. But yeah, who knows? I
That
thought it
would
was
be
money that was
weird.
already taxed.
Or maybe I'm thinking double jeopardy, like you can't be tried for the same murder twice or something like that.
That is another topic.
So in Illinois, specifically Chicago, they added anti-Semitism to their discrimination definition. So any Chicago employers should add that to their EEO statements. And I also found that interesting that it not only included Jewish individuals, but also any somehow anti-Semitism directed towards non-Jewish. What happened to Liz?
Sorry, my cat was riding my desk up and down. So I had to, and it was turning off my light. So I had to take a moment to go deal with that. My apologies. She
No
was sitting
worries.
on the controls and it was just going up and down. I was like, oh, I'm going to
Oh
make
my
some people
goodness.
nauseous here.
I just saw the light go dark. I just thought you changed direction or something. Then you changed on my screen. I was like, oh
No,
my goodness, what's going on?
my light's plugged into my desk. So when it moves up and down, it turns off my light.
Nice.
So now y'all know about my setup.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue with the legal updates.
You're
Darn
Jewish, so
cats.
it's, I thought you were like, I'm not even going to comment on this. It should be on there. I thought that was interesting though. And then Indiana, retroactive tip pooling requirements. Okay, so this one I thought was fascinating because not only did they make the ruling, but they made it retroactive to June of 2024. How?
2024.
Yes.
Wow.
So, I
That's
mean, how, who has tipping records back? I mean, they should be keeping tipping records back
Mhm.
to that time, but if they didn't have to be doing it, I'm sure they weren't. So what about the employees who maybe were not treated fairly during that time?
And how do they plan on enforcing that?
Oh, well, I think enforcement's not too bad because if you know you're supposed to be getting your tips from 2 years ago, you're going to pipe right up and say, I need my tips from 2 years ago.
Right? I think there's going to be a couple of class action lawsuits, especially with like chain restaurants, because this ruling stated that like managers are not eligible to participate in tip pools. I forget what
Mhm.
else it was about. I'm sorry, I have not looked at this since I wrote it like 2 weeks
Employers, managers, and supervisors are strictly prohibited from receiving tips
ago.
from pools.
Which is fairly common where there's
Yeah,
tip pooling laws.
So see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if employees are aware that their managers were taking from the tip pool, but it's not going to be documented because why would the employer document that if it's detrimental to their fiscal solvency? I just feel like if they're, I hope that employees who maybe suffered this, like, are not. Hopefully, first of all, I'm hoping that no one was subject to it, and second, if they are, like, I hope that they do have the records so that they could go back to their employer and be like, "Hey, you took my money."
Hmm.
I felt very strongly about that one. Maine, healthcare employers only. They redefined healthcare employer, which is any employer that operates a healthcare facility, and the seniority system. Healthcare employers may not consider years of service plus relevant education work and experience when making pay decisions for new hires. Um, Wait a minute. May not or may?
may not. It says may not,
I
which that's an
understood it when
interesting
I wrote
topic.
it. Now I'm losing it. Go ahead.
Not just an interesting topic because how many people have hired inexperienced people for less because they're inexperienced? You get someone with years of service and education.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It says specifically when making pay decisions, though, for new hires. So, oh, wait, the way I understood it was that it's for like equality in pay. So it's not like, oh, okay, someone who has been here for 10 years is making $10 an hour. You can't bring in a new hire at $15 an hour, is what that means, right? I believe.
Makes business sense. Let's hope they're not doing that practice.
Definitely hope not.
Oh, that happens all the time, I think.
It does.
Let's hope.
Doesn't, but it's still not a best practice. It's better to adjust the pay rate of your people. If you're, and I've heard employers be concerned about posting the pay rate because they don't want to offend anybody internally. It's like, well, if that's an issue, you probably need to adjust your internal pay rates.
Yeah. Then that means your pay rates are all jacked and you're taking advantage of people. And that's why your people who know the business are going to skedad because they know that they can go somewhere else and make more. I mean, it's so common. It's unfortunate, honestly. All right, Minnesota workers comp poster that has been published. And then, oh, my own state of New Jersey, the COVID state of emergency is over as of February 16th. Okay, can't believe that was still in
What?
effect.
COVID's finally over in New Jersey?
What?
Congratulations, Nikki.
Thank you. I was not aware. Although this is a pretty bad winter in terms of like illness, so maybe it was still here for a while. New Mexico increased minimum wage. New York City sick leave notice requirement. Um, New hires, I think, need to, oh, no, also current employees. Employers have to distribute the paid and protective leave notice. New York City also had a recent, this is not on here, but just that I remember. The additional, I think it was 36 hours per year for sick time, I'm pretty sure, which I felt was quite generous. I mean, not overly generous. I just think good, good for New York City. They pay taxes up the goo-goo.
32 additional hours.
Oh, 32. Okay, so 4
So
days
pretty
typically
close.
ish. Mhm. And they already had sick leave provisions, so this is like an
Mhm.
additional 36. It's I mean good. That's good. Good for them.
Yeah, so now they'll have up to, because I believe previously it was 40. Was that correct?
I
So
think so.
40 plus the 32, that's going to be 72 hours. That's pretty generous.
Mhm. And that's, I'm assuming, a use it or lose it, no carryover.
Let's find out. Must be front loaded, unused additional unpaid, does not carry over.
Must be front loaded. Oh, that's interesting.
Let me double. Yeah, 32 hours must be front loaded and available immediately to all employees, including new hires. That's interesting
Oh, new hires. That is interesting. Hmm.
because typically it's accrued
Oh,
based on
Yeah,
hours
like 1
worked.
hour per whatever worked.
Hmm.
New York City. Gotta love them. So, where are we? North Carolina, non-discrimination ordinance adopted only in Holly Springs, and that was effective on February 17th. For Ohio, speaking of E-Verify, the mandate for construction contractors is effective on March 19th. So all construction contractors who were previously exempt from E-Verify now must comply with the requirements of it. Washington State paid sick leave FAQ has been updated, and that's posted online. Meal and rest breaks guidance updated as well. That was published February 4th. So even though they didn't provide an effective date, we can just assume that February 4th is the effective date because that's when it was published. And then always the reminders for minimum wage and salary history. If you have employees in whatever jurisdiction, you should check those periodically to make sure. I like to check it twice a year. I think that's a safe bet, usually around January. And that was all I had for the legal update.
Excellent.
Anything interesting that you guys thought other than what we discussed?
Oh, those are lots of good updates.
Mm. Actually, another one came through that I put in a note for April. It was March, but I put it in now I forget what it was. I think I emailed you guys about it.
You
I
did,
saw
but
the email. Yes.
well, we don't want to spoil it for next month.
Okay. Good call.
I looked at
Come
the
back
email and I
again.
put it in a folder because I have to do April. So I'm like, okay,
And I didn't even like cut it down. I like copied the entire thing in there to be like this. You have all the information you need and you can include what you want.
just remember some writing like this is all over the place and you can figure it out.
This
Just
is actually,
paraphrasing, but it's kind of what I said. Yeah.
I think that might be verbatim what I said.
No. Okay. Well, thanks for legal update. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Always
Much
a
better
good.
than last month. I mean, we try to make it as fun as I don't want to say fun, is it informative as possible, because sometimes it can be a dry read.
Mhm.
Dry but important. It's a very important read.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do need to
All
know.
right. But now let's totally change gears, 180, jump into a difficult coworkers, managing difficult coworkers. However you want to say it. We've all had difficult coworkers, which is kind of interesting because it runs into, I don't want to go too far and go on another tangent, but it kind of runs into the same process as of we've had difficult conversations. We've
Hmm.
discussed that a while ago. We ran into that subject, but this is similar.
So I misinterpreted the title or the subject. I was just thinking it was more focused on managing laterally as opposed to managing difficult
It could
coworkers.
be. And
So,
I kind of took this on and changed the title because I just made a few notes about it. I know we all had our different ways we're going to talk about something, but I mean, it's totally up for grabs. What's the best way to define? I know, doctor, you had something different. And we looked at the what you were looking into. We're like, yeah, we'll figure something out too.
yeah, I mean, I think this is something that we've all encountered on a regular basis is managing coworkers, whether it be employees trying to manage each other, internally at our own experiences. It's common that while there's no leadership relationship there, you still at some point have to find a way to use your emotional intelligence to manage a relationship you have with a peer.
And just managing. I used to manage teams. I had 26 at one point in my career, which was a lot for one person. It
Mhm.
was okay.
That's a lot.
Um, but
26
then
direct reports.
yes.
That's ridiculous.
Oh,
Hmm.
come on. It was a production facility. It was
Ah,
fabulous.
I stand behind my comment.
Yeah, it was tough. We didn't have yeah, we were not organized to bring on more people at the time to manage it, so
Mhm.
it
I
was
mean, how do
okay.
you even
We
have like a half hour one-on-one with each person each month? You'd have to do several per day.
I think in production facilities, it's less common to have one-on-ones.
yeah, we had a there was a lot of discussions, and I was on the floor quite a bit making sure one, I would always walk the floor to
Mhm.
greet my employees and make sure one, to make sure they were all there. But two, to meet and greet and, get to know them. But it's always interesting. My before I went into that line of work, I was in a different one. And my mentor there says, every team has at least one doing difficult person.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And we start getting that many, probably 1 in 10 becomes difficult. So I had a, handful,
Yeah.
3 or 4 difficult people.
Maybe that's where the kind of benchmark came from that like no manager should have more than 10 direct reports. Maybe that's like the because of the commonality is like typically it's 1 in 10 who's going to be an issue. So it's like you can only
Oh
have
yeah.
one problem child.
Lots of problem childs. Well, it was interesting too. I know I don't want to throw too much of what we do in the hindsight here, but when like Liz threw out, hey, look, I found this great article to read, and we kind of looked at it, and honestly, I didn't jump into it because I saw Nikki's response, like, oh, I want to go on this other way. But I just pulled out things that I'm sure we've all seen in the past. But I found a neat little survey that came up, and it says that your high performers equal high challenges. So a
Yep.
lot of your high performers are very high maintenance people. And Liz is like, yes, they are.
I just wonder if it was like chicken or the egg. Are they high maintenance because they're high performers and they demand things that like low performers can't demand because it's like they have no leverage?
Possibly.
Or maybe it's because the low performers get less attention, they are low performers. So it could go either way.
You really have to think
Yeah.
about like, so does that mean I need to pay more attention to my low performers? Like maybe it's a high performer hiding, just like maybe they're a little shy. They don't know how to ask for things. Who knows?
Well, and then if your high performers like being this, I don't know, I don't want to say superstar or all-star, then all your other people are just being average workers. Does that make them low performers because they're average?
I love a steady Eddie.
They are totally
I
essential to any operating business. It's
hmm,
what keeps the status going.
I
Hmm.
agree.
Because your high performers, they'll either move up or they're going to leave, but they're not going to stay in that same position. But your steady eddies, they're going to
Yep.
keep
Hmm.
everything flowing as you see that change
Oh
in
yeah.
progression.
The high performers will either move up or move out. Love
Hmm.
that
They
statement.
also drive
And
innovation before they go anywhere.
Yep.
or drive something.
Drive you
You
up the
never
wall.
know. Drive you crazy. Well, and then a few other, like, of course, there's always the little quotes. I found some fun little quotes. And mind you, we're talking about high performers, and they don't have to be high maintenance or high whatever. It is what you make of it. But it said, avoiding conflict, you are choosing dysfunction.
Oh, yeah.
Agree.
And it kind of went on to talk about managers and how they handle things, right? If you're not dealing with the difficult behavior, you're tolerating it.
Hmm.
So it's like, are you a hands-on person? Or are you just like, you know what? It'll take care of itself. We'll just move on. Where have you seen? And so many things kind of hit. Just reading different things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been in that scenario. I've been in that scenario. I've watched this happen where they've had difficult employees, whether high performers or not, just be total pains in the ass, but they just let it go because, these people are doing their job. And one, I'm too lazy to replace them. Two, it may be too hard to replace them. Or three, I'm just too lazy to do anything. So I've seen that management style.
Hmm. And they're productive. Typically, like the high performers are inherently productive. So it's like, why am I going to bother to correct the behavior that is producing effectively?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Well, and it was fun too, because I mind you, I went the route of the difficult coworkers today versus just managing coworkers in general, is
Hmm.
you could take it into consideration. You could, you manage them all the same. That's my goal. If they're difficult, you take care of the situation. But they broke it down to types, and here's the new types, and we'll see if this coincides with everything we've learned. Okay. Because we've all been doing this a long time and sometimes the names change. So you have the underminer.
Mm.
They're passive aggressive. They pretty much complain or question everything. I just want to get your brains going like, have I worked with an underminer? Do we know a miner?
I can name five that I've worked with in the past. Yeah.
You have the steamroller. That's always a good one, right? They just dominate everything, dominate meetings, dominate conversations, don't let anyone get a word in.
Because they think
Hmm.
loud equals, you know, that's my
Loud
best
equals.
person, the one who's yelling about everything they're doing.
Hmm.
Which is
And it's
interesting
so
because
funny
that person's typically the one who's not as informed as some of the others.
Oh, that's the one who's doing nothing at all. The one who's always yelling about everything they're doing. You know what they're doing? They're yelling. They're not doing any
exactly.
work.
Well, then we run into the victim who everything happens to them. Nothing can go right. Everything's always bad. It's always, it's like a little sadness on that cute little Disney or Pixar show.
Was it Pixar or Disney? I love that movie.
Same thing. I think Disney owns Pixar, but yeah.
So,
Now it's
I
Disney
forgot the
Pixar.
name. Disney Pixar, yes. It's just so funny. She's so cute. Anyway, but we all
okay.
know a victim. Oh, woe is me. As my wife likes to say, my wife will always tell nieces, nephews, kids, whatever, stop. You don't need a pity party. There's no pity parties.
Hmm.
It just makes me laugh every time I hear that. Now I'm like, oh gosh. And then in your group, you'll have the ghost, right? Not like a scary one. They're just disengaged, pretty much quiet quitting. They're just there. I've never heard that called a ghost before, so I'm like, okay.
Ghost is the new quiet quitting.
Yeah. You just ghost. Yeah. Oh,
But I'm not so convinced the quiet quitter is a difficult employee because they're doing what they need to do typically.
yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And my
Yeah.
final one from this is the brilliant jerk. High performer, um, low respect. Hey, despises everyone.
Despises everyone. Is that's
Yes, yep. So you got the total jerk on your team who does their job, does it really well. Everyone else can do no right. They're just a jerk to everyone else on the team.
oh, that's terrible. That's just
Is
so
it?
it's
You're
not good
getting your sales, you're getting
collaboration.
things. Well, is it worse than the underminer?
No,
Or worse than the steamroller?
wait.
Yeah. See, and my problem with the high performing jerk,
Oh no.
and
Okay.
I'm a big fan of high performers,
Mhm.
but
And jokes.
when they're jerks, they are keeping others from performing. So that's why they're, despite how good they are at what they do in their job, they're stifling others, which is impacting productivity. So it still needs to be addressed. And
Uh-huh.
what do you do when you're that person's coworker and the manager's not addressing it?
Exactly. And that's the key. I'm glad you hit that because all of these are things that need to be addressed. All five need to be
Hmm.
addressed. You just
Mhm.
don't let them manage themselves. They need to be managed. And the first thing was to, name the behavior, right? How are we going to do this? How are we going to fix what's going on? Do they know what's going on?
And a lot of times they don't.
Hmm.
I think they do more often than they admit it.
Do you though?
Yes, I think more people are quite manipulative than we want to believe. Or maybe I've
I'll
just
Because
come across a lot of jerks.
I'll agree there is a degree of manipulation that could be involved, but most people lack the self-awareness to identify where they land.
exactly. And so this article, well, they had a few other tips in there, but says, hey, coach versus correct, right? You need to coach. You're going to coach them if is it a skill issue? Is it a self-awareness issue?
Mhm.
Or do they not have the skills, or they may think they have the skills, but they don't? Do they know? Could it be self-awareness? And to correct it, coaching versus correct. Is it a repeated behavior? You would think so on all these that we talked about, right? And then the next topic they had, they only
Yeah, I
did two
don't
of
think
each,
a
which was kind of
singular
nice.
incident would identify someone as any
It's
one of
like,
those
do
five
they
things.
know? Do they know better? Some people have always been,
Mhm.
praised and you did such a wonderful job. And, they've been handed everything up and up and up, then all of a sudden they do something wrong, or they find out that they are a jerk and get their hands up like, no, no, I've been praised my entire life. Look at all my paper awards on my desk.
I think the culture of the company probably makes
Mhm.
is a deciding factor as well. Like if it's a whole company of jerks,
Hmm.
because that's how, just like a very driven culture or whatever it is, then they were never reprimanded for their abrasive style because it was welcome.
Exactly. And then when a new manager comes in and they're like, oh, this person's trying to change the world. What's going on? I've never been in trouble before. I've always been the golden child. I've always been, no, I've never been the steamroller before, even though I've yelled and hollered through every meeting and not let anyone else talk.
Or stole someone's ideas like while
Oh,
I feel like is that steamroller? Because you're like shouting over them, like they've
you
said their
could be.
idea, but they
That's the
didn't
worst.
know.
I hate that more than anything.
I
But they
think
had they
so.
had a little piece, accountability versus likability.
Well,
Are you
what do you
being
mean?
are you being held accountable for anything you do, or are you just likable so you get away with everything you do because people like you?
Mm,
Which also happens a lot.
all the
It
time.
does. Exactly. So really I think that just delays the process. You're like, oh, I'm likable, but you're not doing your job, but man, you're such a nice person. I like you.
I think companies keep people for likability over accountability.
Oh yeah.
Mm, definitely.
Because wouldn't you
We
rather work with someone pleasant?
it's even a theme in our when we are training terms. There's always a backstory. Oh, they're so great, they're so well liked, and it's like we got to remove the emotion from it and still manage the behavior.
Mhm. So I think the difficulty comes in where it's like when the manager is not doing it for whatever reason, and then you as the coworker has to. And I feel like it's almost a detriment to neurodivergent workers
Hmm.
because it is typically difficult for many of them to have the emotional, not, I don't want to say intelligence, but the comfort with the social interactions that can help them manage their coworkers.
Hmm.
So I wonder how companies can alleviate that, especially not only to be welcoming to a neurodivergent workforce, but also because um, some of the neurodivergent employees are your highest performers because of their abilities.
Fair, fair. Okay. Well, I kind of ran down the negative tangent of all the bad people. Give me a positive spin. Throw me some positivity.
Well, the good news is most of these can be resolved through having a positive relationship with your coworkers and being able to have that open dialogue, having that clean, clear communication. If you have a coworker who's offended you or upset you or has done something, if you have a good relationship, it's fairly easy to approach them and discuss the issue. Like, this is what I've observed. This is how it's impacting me. Can we talk about this? Now, it becomes a little bit more difficult if you don't already have that relationship, though.
And how do
And
you
to
develop it?
Nikki's point, if there is some neurodivergency there, that might be even more difficult.
Good point. Good point.
And that's where it's the manager's job, I feel like, to come in and bridge that gap.
Yeah, managers that don't know their employees or have time for their employees, phew,
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
it's always a negative Nelly for me. It's like, come on, what are you doing? Why are you so busy you can't talk to your employees?
Right. And if you are, then you need to either split the team into a smaller group
Mhm.
or talk to your leadership to say, like, there's not enough hours in the day to do this effectively, and these are the consequences.
You know what's interesting too? I had a client that their manager had two employees and very hard time for this manager to have time to sit with their employees. I'm like, what are you doing all day long that you literally have two people. That's it.
Mhm.
Two direct reports and you can't talk to them. How do you not talk to them daily?
Yeah, every day. It's a three-person team. What are you gonna do?
Right? Exactly.
You should be talking to them every day. I'm hoping that you're working on projects together.
Well, and there's an accounting department. It's like where you guys, I'm
Mhm.
sure you're not spread out across the whole country.
Hmm.
They weren't. They were all like within 10 feet of each other, which is even more funny.
Oh, wow.
Not funny, haha, just funny, odd. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh.
Unless it's like they're literally all sitting in the same room and they don't need those touch points that are specifically like we're going to meet because they're just always together in the same room and it's just like a continuous.
It was cubicles, cubicles in one office. The manager was in the office. Outside the office were two cubicles with the two
Mhm.
reports. It was a closed door manager. So it was an
Oh,
interesting scenario. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. So anyway, we live and learn.
Mhm. Did you have any other positives, Liz? Because the term or train this week is so reflective of what we just discussed.
Really?
Mhm.
I think it's important to discuss our own emotional intelligence when it comes to managing coworkers as well, trying to be respectful and empathetic towards the other person and try to understand where they're
Oh,
coming from, because then that will give you more clarity in how to approach the other person in a way that is not combative. And that's the key is that you want to resolve the behavior, but you don't want it to be combative, and you also want to stay in your lane at the same time. So there were some tips such as with the overachiever who's kind of a jerk trying to go to them and ask for advice, for example, was one key that I saw, and trying to build a relationship through respecting their knowledge. And once they see that there's a level of respect there, they tend to calm down. So that's
hmm.
so working on your own emotional intelligence gives you the ability to better understand how others behave and the root cause of the issue, and then find solutions accordingly.
Yeah.
I like to always approach with curiosity. I think if we were
Mm-hmm.
to really boil it down,
Mhm.
especially when I mean, because I am kind of a hothead. So when sometimes I'll see something and I'll like fly off the handle. And then I have to kind of remind myself, all right, let's chill out. Let's look at it from all angles. Where's this person coming from? I know, Dean, you seem surprised. So I'm really good at hiding it.
I'm just thinking now, like, great, now I'm going to have your employees coming to my office and be like, hey, she's flying off the handle again.
Right. I mean, I've worked for many years to control that in myself. I definitely was worse at it in my 20s and even into my early 30s. I don't know if it just comes with age or experience or whatever. But now I definitely sometimes I do need to take like a couple of days. Like if I get an email even from a client or something, and then I'm like a ball of rage. And then I'm like, let me just not even respond. I'll take a couple days to mull it over, calm myself down, and then say, like, all right, what is really happening here, or what prompted this will frequently give you insight into their feelings behind it. So you can then respond
Yep.
intelligently.
I'm a fan. There's times when I've had a client call and say, whoa, let's not fire him right now. Sleep on it. We'll chat in the morning. Let's take, again, take the emotion out of it. So a
Mhm.
couple things I want just to throw in before we end this one. Make sure with your employees you're setting the expectations, right? Let them know what you're expecting, what further jobs from you, from everything you're needing to do
Mhm.
with the company. Set their expectations and follow through as a supervisor slash manager, whatever your title is. Follow through with your people. Don't chat and say you'll do one thing or never do anything. Just follow through with what you say and make yourself known.
Mhm.
Yeah, and those are good points because those are things that coworkers can do with each other as well. We build trust by following through and holding up our part of the bargain. Whatever we commit to, by
Mhm.
making sure we do it and follow through, we're building that relationship.
And even when you drop the ball, I feel like you can still use that as, a way to build the relationship or continue it because you could say, hey, I dropped the ball. And it's either because I got sick or I got bored of this project. I like to just come out and say it and just be like, that didn't interest me anymore. And I couldn't look at it for one more minute. And anytime I've said that to a coworker who was like waiting for me to do something, they understand. Everybody goes through the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like it's more, you have to have the confidence to be embarrassed, though, I feel like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Just be
does.
honest. It happens.
Mhm.
And I think people respect that versus saying, "Oh, don't give empty promises. I'll
Hmm.
have that done tomorrow." You know, you're not going to get that done tomorrow.
Right. Because
Yeah,
there are times when you're going to underpromise and overdeliver. It's not, you're not a
exactly.
robot. You're not putting out, the same output every single time in the same quality. We're all human beings, and that's why we're working on a team and we're not just one person doing the whole jobs.
Exactly. Okay, good. We good? Should we close it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, I got the term or train.
I always put trainer term, but do we want to keep it term or train?
I
I
know.
like
I
trainer term.
trainer term is a lot nicer. Term is the end of the line.
Yeah. It has a better ring to it.
Everybody likes a train.
And the past couple we've been training, so we haven't had a lot of terms lately.
Yeah, that's true. So the overall topic is conflict with coworkers.
What?
I know, right? Isn't it funny? So the question came in, two employees on my team are constantly at odds with each other. The conflict isn't just one specific incident, but different matters that bubble up periodically. It's hard to predict what will set them off, as they can work well together for weeks on end, sometimes months, and then suddenly it's bickering for a few days. While the effect on productivity is thankfully limited, it's just plain annoying. Generally, both employees are competent and professional with others and each other most of the time. I've spoken to them separately about maintaining professionalism, but the friction keeps resurfacing. At what point does this become something HR should formally address? And what's the best way to manage two employees who simply sometimes just hate each other?
I'm kind of interested in this one. I wish we had more information because in any good relationship, there's healthy conflicts. Like even if you look at marriage, at some point you hate your spouse. You don't really hate them, but you feel that that they're like, I can't look at you right now. I'm done. I need space. And maybe that's what these employees are going through. Maybe their relationship is so good that they're open enough to express when they're dissatisfied with another. They just need to figure out how to manage it a little bit better and address it a little bit better.
That
My
is a
first thought are these
crazy
siblings.
take. I know, right? See, I was thinking the same thing where I'm like, it seems like these employees have something going on outside
Are
of
they
their work.
related? Are they in a relationship? Are
It's,
they in a relationship and they go home? Maybe they're spending too much time together. They live together and they work together. That's, but then the kicker is there's sometimes weeks or months where, they work together great. So you work a quarter together, then you have a bad week and then you're good for another quarter. It's like, what is going on?
I mean, I was going to say it seems cyclical, but it's just unpredictable when it could be, you know.
It's not affecting productivity, which is good. I'm interested to see because they said it's not really impacting other employees, but I'm interested to know how it impacts morale overall. Like, do other people notice, or is it just the leader who's noticing this? Or do they go to the
Yeah,
leader and complain?
that part was
And what
not
are they doing? Are they in a cubicle together? Are they across the room, across the department?
note to future people who come in with questions, give us more detail.
No, that's the fun of it. We kind of have to make up our own scenarios, and that's where
Right.
it can go off the rails.
Mhm.
So this scenario, when does HR jump in? I think as soon as they have their first tiff, you get someone involved. Well, first manager should be like, "Hey, what's going on? Why are you having this little tiff?" If it goes on, then we're gonna.
Mhm.
And do we need to involve? So here's the thing with this one. Do you need to involve HR where the manager should be doing all this?
Oh, I know. That part kind of annoyed me because I'm like, that's so typical. It's like, oh, HR involved. No, you gotta talk to your people first of all.
It's like, don't make us the bad guys.
Hmm.
Anyway, but the supervisor, whoever, whatever their title is, should have taken care of this, said, okay, what's going on? Sat them each in a corner, had a discussion, maybe put them in the same room, worked it out. And say, okay, if this happens again, it's going to become formal. You're going to start going on and not a time pip, just a pip. Hey, here's your warning. It happens again. You'll go on you know,
Mhm.
here's your written. You'll go, here's your verbal. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, too many words. Hit them with the
You
verbal,
mean
hit them
like
with the
not,
written.
it's not going to be like a 3 week or a 4 week PIP. It's going to be this
No,
is your
no, especially where
written
this happens.
documentation of what is expected,
Yeah.
and that is what needs to be happening going
Yeah. So
forward.
first, I'm gonna have the manager talk to him. Next one, let's put them on a verbal warning. If they happen again in 3 months, well, guess what? You're going on a written. If it happens again,
Mhm.
well, and not even one of you. I'm gonna get rid of both of you.
I agree. Go through the process, go through the progressive disciplinary process, and they should get the hint after the first time. I mean, unless they're particularly stubborn.
I'm going to go against the grain and say I would do nothing as the manager. They're two adults. I agree with Liz. They are having healthy conflict. It doesn't come up that often. They're both productive.
Well,
It's fine if people get annoyed every
and I
once in a
agree
while.
with that, but how bad is this conflict if it's affecting people and it's enough for someone to send in a note?
Mhm.
But
Mind you,
is
it's
it
a very
just
vague note.
but is it just the leader? See, I'm back and forth on this one between do nothing or progressive discipline because if the leader's the only one bothered by it, then maybe the leader needs to look internally and figure out what's going on with themselves,
True.
that
True,
they're
true.
not
Okay.
comfortable with other people having healthy conflict.
Let's train this leader on healthy conflict. And then if it's
Right.
more than healthy conflict, then let's step in and start a performance plan.
We're viewing this through the lens of the manager who is telling us this is what's going on. And I am again, great points, Liz, that maybe the manager doesn't know what healthy conflict looks like. Maybe this is healthy conflict. Like, so, all right, so every once in a while we get a little touchy, and maybe you say, you're comfortable
Hmm?
enough with the coworker to be like, could you could you shut up already?
Hmm?
Or whatever bickering is, in this manager's opinion. I'm not going to say train or terminate. I think it's just this is a non-issue and doesn't even need to be addressed. Dean disagrees
You,
with me.
we just discussed, you just can't brush this under the carpet. Come
Oh
on.
no, am I the problem manager?
And there's so much. If we look at it from maybe the employees don't know that there's anything wrong and it's just what they do.
Hmm.
It could be a cultural thing. It could be, this is how big the company is.
Mm-mm. No.
Maybe
Yeah,
they're
this
the
one
only
really
two
didn't.
employees that work there.
That's what I like about this question because I feel like when we were given so many details, it's like it's this, and this. But typically, like this is more common that a manager will come to you or whoever is on the team will come to you and like this is what they start with. Like this is their first question, and you really have to drill down. I feel like this is a good lesson for HR people or people in leadership where it's like, don't take it at face value. You need to look at it from these two people's perspective, anyone else who's affected, the manager who came to complain, how it's going to affect business. You have to look at all of these things before you can make any kind of a decision.
Hmm.
And I see a seasoned manager not having an issue, not going to HR yet. They'll be like, okay, let's figure this out. Why is this happening? Why is it not happening? Whatever. Ask all the pertinent questions before.
Mhm.
Then it gets out of hand. They're like, well, okay, I've reached my expertise level. I need to bring in someone else.
Mhm.
I think for this one, an HR could probably coach the manager through it rather than
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
And by all means, leadership, whenever they have something that they don't feel comfortable handling, should go to HR, but more so for guidance rather than to pass the buck.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you. That's the best thing. We get dumped on so many times for things that are like, what? Okay, so we're terming the manager and just training the employees.
That's an option.
Nikki's not doing anything, so I'm not even talking to her now.
I
She's out.
literally
She's quiet.
wrote down non-issue, everyone should shut it.
She just put NA. Everyone should shut it.
This says
I
train
think
manager on resolving conflict or shutting it.
give I think I want to talk to the manager and give them a few tools to help with the situation. Because we don't know how big it is. It could be a huge fire that's still smoldering that just happens every quarter or every few weeks.
It's for
Because
months on end. Sometimes
heaven
months.
forbid someone
Nothing
bring up
happens.
something from 10 years ago and throw it in your face. I don't.
But if it's pattern establishment, that's
Uh-huh.
sometimes pretty valid. This
Exactly.
conversation has just, my dog is literally, his head is hanging off the chair. He's sleeping, just
Hmm. He's in the same boat as you are with this question.
everyone. I mean, I really don't think it's a problem. Like, whatever, it's fine. That probably keeps things interesting. Every couple of months you have like this
A
flare
little
up,
flare up.
and then the rest have something to talk about
Oh.
over their walk to the water cooler. I really don't. I don't see an issue here.
Just as I've gotten older, I just see little flare-ups becoming more nowadays. I've seen flare-ups become huge, huge issues, between fights in the warehouse or someone bringing a weapon into class or whatever else. Nowadays it's kind of 20 years ago it was like, yeah, no big deal. But nowadays you're kind of like, oof, you got to be,
You have to be
I don't know,
high alert. Maybe I'm having
little
issues.
seriousness to it. But again, we don't know how big the flare-ups are. The flare-ups could just be like, you know,
They could also be a sign of
whatever.
passion. Like they can each be passionate about what they're doing and their work, and just like, hey, we're passionately arguing about this. We want to make sure that this is done right, and it could be a sign of commitment for the company. I mean, it may not be that bad. I'm so torn on this one.
Because they care.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Because they care and they could butt heads a little bit. Yeah. Could be deadlines. It could be who knows what else. Could be, yeah, just the project in general. But
Hmm.
we don't know. We need some more information.
Hmm.
But I'm going to give the manager a few tools. So I guess
Train
that
the
would lean
manager.
towards train the manager a little bit just to pick their brain and see what's really going on. If it's something that we really need to step into or if they can handle it.
And Liz was train the manager. I mean, if anything, all right, I would also speak with the manager. Probably I would say train the manager and just give them a couple of um items to say, okay, if it's, once it's flaring up, if we don't want it to continue or if things are going to flare up, but if you do want to end them quickly or more quickly than they are being, like, let's follow these steps to bring it
And
back down again with the anticipation that it's probably something is probably going to come up again. And we can't require these people to never disagree.
Yeah.
and I'm kind of jaded on this because I had a similar scenario where I trained the supervisor to handle the questions and the little flare-ups. And the supervisor is such a nice person that they try to handle it, but did it in such a way that it caused more friction and it totally blew up. So it's like, okay.
I have seen that when a leader tries to be the go-between, and then it turns into,
Uh-huh.
well, why are you gossiping about me? Why aren't you coming to me about this? Sometimes it could be more detrimental for the leader to try to manage it on their own, if they're not doing it appropriately.
Mhm.
So
This is a
th-
good one.
this is a real good one. I like this one. I think we need more information. Give the leader some tools for success. Maybe give the two people involved some tools for success. If it is extreme or impacting the workplace, then we move to progressive discipline. But if it's not impacting the workplace, the productivity is not suffering,
Mhm.
it could just be healthy conflict that they are trusting each other to work out between themselves.
In the way that they have established, it seems like for years, let your
Possibly.
people work.
Let your people work, let your people fight.
Yeah, this was an interesting one, right?
It was fun. Yeah, yeah. Makes you go, hmm.
Hmm.
Remember, we are HR Service Unscripted, right? We're on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. Give us a thumbs up and a subscribe.